on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Welcome to another episode of Action Video Game Talk. I'm your host, Scott Action Jackson. Thanks for joining me today, or tonight, or whenever you're watching or listening to this episode. I do have a new list of news articles to go through, so let's hop right into it. The first bit of news, which is a bit old but more recent, it has been announced that there's going to be a Mortal Kombat XL. So yes, this is a complete version, a complete edition, if you will. More of a Game of the Year edition, for those gamers who have seen those around. Now, a lot of people have been speculating that this was going to happen at some point. Not every game gets this happening to it. I mean, there are quite a few games out there that do deserve it, but with this extra large edition, yes, extra large XL, we get everything. All the DLC contents, all the fatalities, all the costumes, all the levels, including, apparently, the pit level. Now, what this means is that those who didn't get the Mortal Kombat X right away can get it now, well, not now, but when it comes out, this extra large edition, and get all the content that came out for it. I think currently it's dated for March, I believe. But yes, like I said, this is going to have all the DLC content that came out for Mortal Kombat X. And some people are going to hate this, but be okay with it. The price on it is going to be the standard price for a new game, so about $60. One thing to note about this is that it is coming out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, but not PC. As far as I know, the PC version of Mortal Kombat X is going to have the extra combat pass thing where you get the additional horror guys like Leatherface, the Alien, and all those other figures, or fighters. To me, this is a good thing and kind of a bad thing. I mean, it sucks for those who did buy the first combat pass and the game and thought maybe they would get lucky and get everything in one shot. But concerning some games, like I stated before, do get this Game of the Year Complete Edition at some point. And once again, like I stated, not every game gets it, but some do. To the next article, which is kind of in the same light of Mortal Kombat XL, a pre-order bonus has been revealed. And that pre-order bonus is having two different costumes for the combatants Cassie Cage and, if I got this name right, Jacqueline Briggs. Now, these costumes are designed to look like, from what I remember seeing, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, or at least some form of Lin Kuei and Shinryu ninjas. So, these are going to be pre-order bonuses for the Mortal Kombat XL. I don't know if there's... The news article I saw didn't say if it was store-specific pre-order bonuses or if it's going to be pre-order bonuses for every store. But if the latter is true, this is a nice little extra for people who are just going after the XL edition. But this brings up a good question that I didn't... Question/possibility that I didn't bring up with the previous article. Will the Mortal Kombat XL have all the content on the disc, or will it pull something like the Destiny Taken King did, and that is have the basic game and have the additional content on like pieces of paper inside for download codes? If that's the case, this is going to be one weird release, because I know a lot of people were a bit upset with that with the Taken King. Of course, it would be nice if all the content is on the disc, but I'm afraid we'll have to wait and see if that is a possibility or not. For those who've had the Nintendo 3DS and have access to the eShop, have noticed a few, I guess, 3D versions of some of the old Sega games. Well, now officially it seems that there's going to be an actual physical retail game having some of these games in 3D. It's been announced that there's going to be a Sega 3D Classics collection. Now, I got the full list right here in front of me. And the list actually includes, if I'm saying some of these names right, Power Drift, Puyo Puyo 2, Fantasy Zone 2W, Sonic the Hedgehog, Thunderblade, Galaxy Force 2, Altered Beast, Fantasy Zone 2, Maze Walker. I don't know what the difference between Fantasy Zone 2W and just Fantasy Zone 2 is, but I guess people, once I look this up online later after recording this, I'll probably know then. But what's weird about this listing of games is some of the ones that were already released are not on it. Because I know, as far as I know, there was, I think, an Afterburner 3D released for the 3DS as well as a digital game. So I'm surprised that's not on here as well. I mean, for a game like this, it should have a lot more actual listings for older games. Because on the original article itself, it does say Streets of Rage 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, they are absent from this list. Yeah, this list of games are really, it's really strange and confusing. This Sega 3D Classics collection is going to be out April 26th for $29.99. But this doesn't even seem right. No. I mean, from this list of games for this game, list of games for this game, this sounds really right. I only recognize two games, Sonic the Hedgehog and Altered Beast. Now, of course, those two games I'd be curious to see how they would be able to do with a 3D format, especially with the Nintendo 3DS. But why the hell would they not include some of the other ones that they've already released digitally? It's just fucking confusing. People who have Amiibos, the Nintendo Amiibos, know that they function differently with different games. Well, we now know with the Twilight Princess HD game, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, there's going to be multiple Amiibo figures that will be able to work alongside it now. Not only will this Wolf Link be usable with it, but so will some of the other ones that came out in the Legend of Zelda line of figures. Now, here's what the article itself says. Link and Toon Link will refill your arrows. Zelda and Sheik will restore your hearts, and Ganondorf makes the game more difficult by increasing the damage Link takes. That's kind of brutal right there. I mean, do you really want a game to be even more difficult and harder? Well, technically, I know a lot of people probably would say yes to that, but for somebody like me, if I'm playing a Nintendo game, I'm playing it to have some fun. Now, it is nice that they are going to be including these extra features from some of these older Legend of Zelda Amiibo figures to work with the Twilight Princess game. I'm just wondering if there's even more, maybe hidden functions with the other Amiibo figures. I mean, I know throwing on maybe a Pikachu or maybe an Animal Crossing one isn't going to do anything, but I don't know, maybe there might be something hidden if you throw on maybe like a Mario or maybe even a Princess Peach. But it is nice that Nintendo is trying to throw in more functionality with the Amiibo figures. But there's one thing that does come up with this with this Twilight Princess thing. A lot of people know that previously, when the Twilight Princess came out, it came out around the same time as both the GameCube version and the Wii version. This that's coming out is the Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U. Now the question is, will this only be a Wii U version, or are they possibly thinking about making one for whatever the next NX whatever system that Nintendo is going to work on? It's a possibility. So this could be one game that is going across maybe 4 different systems. It's a possibility. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to actually happen, but anyway, the Twilight Princess is currently scheduled to release for the Wii U later this year. And introducing these Amiibo functions is a great thing. It's an awesome thing that Nintendo's trying. So many people know that EA loves to do these sports games and do sequels to the sports games, and that there is a UFC 2, and I'm trying to do quotations around the 2 because there was a second UFC game already, but it was like labeled something else. But an EA UFC 2 is coming out. Now, one of the people that was announced for it already, major, I guess, guest character fighter, has been CM Punk, which, that is just stupid. I mean, CM Punk has not even stepped in the octagon yet. So how the hell can they have an accurate representation of how he's going to be in the game? But the problem here, on this article that I was going to get to, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked, but is that EA has announced that Mike Tyson will be in the EA Sports UFC 2 game. There's supposed to be 2 versions. There's going to be the Iron Mike Tyson, based on the 80s career, and a Legacy Mike Tyson, based on kind of towards the end of his career. Now, most of these bonus characters, well, I do say bonus, but I kind of mean that lightly, usually end up being unlocked at some point in the game already. I'm guessing announcing these is going to be incentive. But it says here that Iron Mike will be available from day one for those who pre-order, and Legacy Mike will be available in the deluxe edition of the game. But as I stated, I know that previously in the past, bonus fighters have been able to unlock already just by playing through the game. So doing this, getting the deluxe edition and pre-ordering it, probably gives you the characters right off the bat instead of just waiting and playing through it, which is a bit weird and unsettling. I mean, most people know Mike Tyson was an excellent boxer. Boxer is the key word. And throwing him in to the octagon in any fictional way whatsoever seems a bit ridiculous. Then again, I think with the first one, they kind of did the same thing with Bruce Lee, which, how they were able to get the rights to use Bruce Lee, I don't know. But it just seems ridiculous because Bruce Lee himself would be overpowered. Because I know Bill Bush, Reploid Bill, from over at Fanlight, can probably go into more details on how overpowered Bruce Lee can actually be compared to some of the more modern UFC competitors. But to me, this announcement, Mike Tyson being in the UFC 2, is just ridiculous and about as retarded as WWE deciding to give Triple H the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the Royal Rumble. Well, that does it for this episode of Action Video Game Talk. Once again, thanks for joining me today, or tonight, or whenever you're watching or listening to this episode. Down below, I will have, I think, link to the Facebook page if you want to check that out. Also, later on, I will try and get the separate clips up whenever I get around to finishing this, because I'm now recording and editing this by way of the Sony Vegas movie making stuff, and probably also the Windows Movie Maker as well, so it'll be a little bit longer. which is why these are only posting maybe once every week. So, until next time, bye!